And this is something that has really helped me going through my downswing. And I'm going to share the graph, of course, from my downswing. So for those of you that like a little bit of drama, don't worry, in a couple of minutes I'm going to be sharing my graph where I was running hundreds of buy-ins under EV. Hey guys, I actually thought this wouldn't be an interesting topic, and I was sharing a post on Twitter asking for people's worst downswing and what made them persist and how did they get out of it. And it actually got a lot of engagement, which I would have not expected, because I feel like poker players talking about their worst downswings is just such a saturated topic that I didn't consider it ever as something that is so highly requested. So here I am. People really wanted to see that piece of content. But before we get right into it, I have an announcement to make that from June onwards, we are going to be providing webinars where you have the opportunity to buy a weekly, a monthly, and a yearly pass. It's going to be 4 webinars a week. You find all the information in the description. We have one of the best coaches in the world, including guys like Klaas Segebrecht, Julian Thomas, Nico, our bounty coach, and also myself. I'm going to be hosting those webinars. It's going to be 4 in total, and I think it's going to be very affordable. So if you are looking for interactive coaching opportunities where you're also going to be able to ask questions during those webinars, where we're going to be discovering different topics or sharing different topics. And you can also, if there's a specific topic but you don't want to commit for a month or a year, you can also just sign up for a weekly pass where you get access to one of the webinars. If you sign up for monthly and yearly webinars, you also get access to old recordings. So lots of value in those webinars. But just look in the description, you will find more information there. So let's get into the topic of today's video, which is sharing or talking about my worst downswing. All right, so I discovered my old profile on Poker Strategy, and I discovered my old blog that I created back then. By the way, if people are asking now, hey Ben, what are these glasses? It's already quite late, and I really wanted to get this video done today. These are blue light blocking glasses that I very often wear before I go to bed. It really helps you to go or get better sleep, to fall asleep faster. The blue light is very detrimental to your sleep. If you want to know more about it, just check it out. And I don't even know where I got these glasses. I have them already like for 5 or 6 years. But any kind of blue light blocking glasses, as long as they do their job, they work wonders. Anyway, so I discovered my blog, and it was really funny because if you look into my profile and you see I made 3,500 posts with my account, and back then I mostly used it for posting hands and engaging with the community. And this is something that has really helped me going through my downswing. And I'm going to share the graph, of course, from my downswing. So just stay tuned for a couple of minutes. It might be very valuable piece of information here, what has helped me to go through such a downswing. And for those of you that like a little bit of drama, don't worry, in a couple of minutes I'm going to be sharing my graph where I was running hundreds of buy-ins under EV. Anyway, so what you can see here is I was literally grinding back then, grinding $6.50 dollar sitting goals. I was started at $1 sitting goals. At some point I started engaging in those communities, and and you see here me like literally thousands of posts asking for feedback and taking advantage of the offer from Poker Strategy that were basically providing coaches that provided feedback for the community, for the members that ask questions around their hands. And it was great, and this is something similar we do in our Discord community as well. And by doing that, of course, I also attracted a lot of other members that saw, this Bencb guy, he's really grinding a lot. And I was able then to connect with guys like Julian Thomas, Rainer Kempe, Fedor Holz, and the infamous crew around Team Gatsbook Campino was found at some point, and everyone got very successful in poker. So here, my best advice I can give you is that in order to go through Downswing, you need to have already a strong team, like-minded people that support each other, that are very positive, where you can rely on, and so to speak, a safety net that these are your warriors, this is your army, that where you have each other's backs and you can cheer each other up, and you can also, be very honest if you really see someone just fucking it up and bullshitting himself and telling him like, listen, dude, you're really misplaying hands and I think you can do better. So this is, I think, where we have grown as poker players together, and being able to tackle our goals and go this journey together, where we have exchanged feedback and just always being very honest with each other. And sometimes we very often didn't agree on hands, but it made us overthink our own approach to the game and see different perspectives and different angles. And we were never slacking, or we were never feeling contempt on our own level. We always had the drive to grow more, to learn more, because we've seen like so many different styles of poker, and it's just very interesting to see. And we remained very hungry because we saw everyone else was working really hard, and we wanted to be part of this group. However, it definitely also requires a lot of effort and time, because it's a grind. It's a grinding through different, it might sound a little weird, but you grind your way through different people, where you might encounter some people where it's not a fit. You don't have the same vision. Maybe they're a little weird or different than you. You don't come along well. It's just not a match. It's not just the same chemistry, and you just move on and try with other people. And like at some point you meet people that it's really a fit. You can study together, and maybe friendships are built. And this is where you can really have a strong circle of friends around you that has really helped me back then as well. All right, let's get right into it. And you see here, so many people, I get also messages, Ben, I'm going to be the hardest working. I'm going to be, at some point, I'm going to be playing against you. None of these players that have sent me these messages like 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years, 4 years ago, none of them I've ever played against. Usually those who just shut the fuck up, they put in the work, these are the guys who make it to the top. And if you want to attract the people that you want to have in your life, that you want to study with, that you want to learn from, then you need to become that person first, and you need to prove to them that you put in the work. Otherwise, it's just talk, and you don't attract people by talking. So you got to put in the work, and then you attract those people. And you can do that by engaging in Discord communities, online forums, being active, engaging, providing feedback, helping others, and they see, wow, this dude is really cool. He really cares about the community. He really cares about me. Let's give something back. And then you might also see that person, that Bob274 guy, provides you feedback, and then maybe you hit him up, hey, we want to study together. It sounds so simple, but that's how you do it. All right, let's get into the graph. This was going for almost 15 months straight, where I was essentially money-wise, like I was making a little bit of profit, but like 150, 160 buy-ins over almost 1.5 years is not a lot. I remember back then I was playing an average stake of, I would say $150, maybe $200, maybe $100, like something along the line of that. It's almost 10 years ago, so it's really hard to remember. But I remember I was like 100K up, around 100K up in EV around this time, and I was like 10K in terms of profit. I'm not sure but something like that. And it just felt really devastating. I was importing my database also in other people's tracker, and we got the same results, because at some point I was just, this cannot be true. I cannot run that bad. And again, I was not losing a lot of money, but just this discrepancy where I was a student, I was like 5K a year was like a shit ton of money for me. And when you get into it and, you start crushing EV wise, and we had boot camps with others. I did so many user-to-user reviews. I just wanted to make sure that I'm not missing something. I had 3 different coaches, and everyone was telling me, no, Ben, you play fine. Like you're crushing. Like we don't see any big leaks. And I was just running so terrible. And so I think that feedback, that I just need to grind it out, I think has really helped me. Of course, I was always happy when people told me, you can do this better and that better, because otherwise it feels so powerless. Like there's nothing you can do. And at least I was running break even, and I probably also back then have built that mindset. Okay, when things are not going well, when shit hits the fan, let's try to lose the minimum. And probably not a lot of players would have been able to still make a small profit for like 2 years or in these 1.5 years. And yeah, it just felt so devastating because I made money with rakeback, but for me it was always about making profit pre-rakeback. So I was still fine, like I still with poker, with the small profits I had over these 1.5 years plus these the rakeback, I was still doing fine. But again, some of you might say, oh my god, like I seen worse downswing. That's totally cool. Like this is not measuring our dicks who had the biggest downswing. For me, it felt devastating, and some of you guys might run terrible over 100 tournaments, and it feels terrible and feels like don't feel embarrassed for your downswing. It's just so weird when people come and try to, oh, I had a much worse downswing. It doesn't really matter. It's about how you feel about your downswing and what you do about it. What are your measurements? How do you try to get out of it? If you just dwell on it, complain, and you have no way of properly coping with it, then you can have the worst downswing. You cannot buy anything with that. You cannot apply in 10 years. Yeah, I almost made it in poker, but I had the worst downswing. Like nobody cares about that shit. So here, for me, this was my worst downswing, and yeah, and I'm very grateful for back then that I had my poker friends who also introduced me to poker. So I would say this is where I got lucky. This is where I got lucky that from the very first moment, I've always had 2-3 friends that I could ask questions. They played cash game, high stakes. None of them played sit and goes though, so they couldn't really help me with that. But when it comes to the poker mindset in general, or just checking in with some basic post-op stuff, they could give me feedback. So that was definitely where I got lucky. I had these friends from school. I knew them. They got into poker. I got into poker much later than them. So yeah, this is where, that safety net of having my 2-3 poker buddies, it's like, Ben, keep going, don't give up. And I was like literally 2-3 times about to give up, just say, that's just not meant to be. I gave it my best. And I think I would have never regretted it, because I was trying for a lot of time. Like these 1.5 years just felt really bad. And I think that was also right after Black Friday. So, I mean, the first downswing, technically losing my entire bankroll on full tilt poker, which was like $20,000. And I grinded my way up. Of course, I had some savings, my bank accounts, I withdrew some money, but still, basically my entire poker bankroll was on full tilt. So that felt very devastating, of course. And then I started playing on Poker Stars. Yeah, Black Friday was 2011. So this was a massive bad beat. And that was already where I think a lot of us would have considered giving up. So I started on Poker Stars. Again, smaller limits, of course. Tried the same again, and then you just get beaten in the face. And with my history, if you've grinded on full tilt back then, where I've lost my bankroll, then the same again now for 1.5 years. That felt very frustrating. And around the time there was still the rumors that you might have gotten back your bankroll, but still it was a very unpleasant feeling. So it's something I can recommend everyone. I mean, we're talking about here like 500, 550 in buy-ins. If you do the math, around 95K makes a lot of sense. This is what I remember. I was talking to my friends, like always like, 70, 80K under EV, and complaining, whining. And honestly, they also said like, Ben, yeah, okay, we understand, but you either keep going, you try your best, or you leave it. But so, and I was also very grateful for all that kind of feedback that I've gotten. And yeah, if they would have not kept pushing me, I probably wouldn't be here today, and maybe to just do a normal job. It's just so funny how things can go sometimes. So this is what I recommend to everyone. If you get into poker, if you try to take it more serious, really try to build this group where you can go to them. It's like, listen, I had these bad beats, and can you look over some hands? Can you give me some feedback? And Also just tell them, hey, listen, like these bad beats, these motherfuckers sucking me out, they don't know any shit, these bingo players. Leave it out, man. If this is what you have to say, leave it out, and then afterwards say, thank you for giving me opportunity to let my steam off. Let's now talk about some hands, or do you have any productive advice? The problem is what most people just do, they just complain. It's like, oh, I'm the worst, I'm the unluckiest player in the world. This guy, he just sucked me out. And once someone else tries to give them feedback, they're totally reluctant. They don't want to hear it, and they think they do everything all right. This is a very toxic attitude, and you're not going to learn anything. I mean, I see these guys on Twitch and YouTube comments, and we all know these so-called chat pros, and there are a lot of chat pros in real life as well. Yeah, and they're never going to be successful on poker. But that's their choice, and you can't blame them. We don't try to convince them, or I'm not trying to convince them. If they think they make everything right and they know everything better. I see it in YouTube comments. If I make an analysis and they think, no, that's wrong, and I literally show them, prove them with a calculator, with the software, hey, 1 + 1 is 2, and they tell me, no, Ben, sorry, I think 1 + 1 is true, and I can literally show that on a calculator. It's just how it is. Sometimes people don't want to learn. They are stuck in their own world, and that's totally fine. If you remain open, if you're able to surround yourself with those people that can tell you when things are going wrong, you are having a massive edge in poker. I know some of you guys claim to be shy. Fuck that, just step out of your comfort zone. You will also get used to it. Once you start interacting with people, it's like a muscle. You will build a certain muscle memory, and you signalize your subconscious mind, hey, you know, you're not gonna die. You might get some rejections here and there.
Hey, do you want to go out with me?
No. Rejected.
People might tell you suck, but you're gonna survive. It's totally fine, and this has been part of my journey as well. I've been rejected many times, and I'm still here. I'm alive. I'm all good. So yeah, I really hope this little story of mine has helped you. Again, it's nothing like special. This is my own story, as it seems people really wanted to see it. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna be sharing it. And yeah, if you guys want to share your own story, feel free to do it in the comments. If you're not part of our Discord yet, it's a great opportunity to connect with like-minded people, to be active. We have, in fact, a lot of the Raise Your Edge stuff that is working for us today have been just members being very active and engaging and helping others. And I was like, hey man, it seems you're really passionate about poker. You want to work for Raise Your Edge, basically getting paid for what you do anyway. We have guys that I remember also being very active that became member of the year and even getting some money, and now they work for Raise Your Edge, be in the support team or as a coach, or in the content creation side of things, or in the marketing side of things. It's very interesting where the stories can go, and yeah, so there are always opportunity. You just need to take them, and you just need to give it a try. All right, enough talk. If you guys have any other questions around downswings that I might not have answered here, feel free to drop it in the comments. And yeah, of course, don't forget to subscribe and click that like button, and keep your eyes open for more information around the webinars. This is going to be a new project where we want to provide you or support you in your journey with amazing coaches that are not part of Raise Your Edge yet to a certain degree, and yeah, also provide you with different type of knowledge or different styles as well, maybe different perspective. And yeah, looking forward to see you guys there. And if you have any questions around the pricing or any kind of logistics support, remember, we have a support team where you can also drop your questions. Not necessarily the comment sections is the best way to do it. So support@raiseyouredge.com, or in our Discord where we have live support. And yeah, then very excited for that format or this new project. I'm gonna be streaming soon again, and then see you guys next time.